Stargate, Captain's Log. Some of the team are assembling for our first mission. There's lots of different teams all over the show. There's teams over there, there's teams all around the show. Shashin Tota! Stargate, Captain's Log. Well, my mission for today is going to be a really groovy event, and I am expected to be here and prevent people from going this way, and they have to go around there. That's the mission. Our team's over there, and I think they're located in a few different areas, and they're getting all this set up for the event. And there'll be people riding on these boats going to wherever, and they have this kabuki parade or something like that, from what I can basically understand. I got an opportunity to chat with some of these ladies here, and this chap, they've got traditional instruments. They've got a bunch of shamisen and stuff, and I know quite a bit about the shamisen. Not a lot, but you know, a bit. So I got to check that out. Cool. They're heading off in the procession now to the Kabuki Theatre. Yeah. The beach of contemplation. Let's grab one of these energy drinks. There we go. Turned into a fine day indeed. It was running at 90% precipitation up to around roughly, I was saying it would be to around 11, and then drops immediately down to something on the lines of percent. So so we, well, what did it entail? It's pretty rad, that's for sure. Right, there we go. Got that there. Shit, I've already broken this bloody thing over some Gaijin's head. Gaijin's. No, just joking. They said, oh, you won't need that today. And so I brought a bunch of kit that they gave me, and I've got plenty of it back at the ranch, like this helmet, all kinds of bits and pieces, and yeah, well, all this kind of walkie-talkie units and all this sort of stuff. So unfortunately, I took more stuff than I needed, and yeah, it was only like a half day, so less than that really. They said, it was only really about 3 hours, but they said, if they call you out for 3 hours, they pay you for 5 or something like that, and they pay your transport too. So I was in a team of a dozen. No, good dudes, man. Yeah, good laugh. Put all that back. Yeah, unfortunately we had 3 locations, so I had to sort of hoof it with all this junk that I brought along that I didn't know if I needed to bring it or not, and I don't know, man. I didn't think to sort of ask, like, you know, that particular day, what should I wear, and that particular day I just figured I'll just bring everything. So I brought along this big jackety thing and this flashy thing you got for night time, and sometimes you see blokes wearing the full kit, you know, in the daytime. So I was like, what should I do? And I figured I'll just bring everything. Pretty much everything. They said, oh, well, at least they told me you don't have to bring that, so at least I didn't bring that along. It felt like got a call. Moshi moshi. work tomorrow? I go, what time? They go, oh, from the morning to the evening. I go, when? And they go, so it looks like I go, yeah, man, I'm keen. So it turns out, okay, on the morrow, I was asking, oh, can you send me the email, the juice show, meaning the address. And he said, oh, it's actually at the, he told me the name of the train station. It's actually the train station. There goes the train that way, right? And in that, through that tunnel, and it's just sort of there. So it's the next station from I reside here. Oh, there's that Seahawk, mountain hawk, and there's crows coming to get him. See that crow got him. There you go. See. There's another crow. Yeah, he's not too happy around here too. Anyways, I did not expect the call so soon. I was figured, maybe sometime next week. You know, they'll have me on the job again tomorrow. Thankfully, there was a girl that was going to come along to the warehouse to pick something up, and I gave her this 3-table, a bunch of other stuff. I don't know how I had the 3 tables, and one leg was on the ground. And when I moved all this camping gear, it was a camping table, aluminum camping table, and it turns out it was there. And I contacted her, and I was like, shit, I hope she didn't throw it away. And she said, oh, thanks so much for contacting us, and so I just gave her that and a bunch of other things for free, and so she decided to change to Saturday, so that's fantastic. Okay, so it turns out that alright, so Friday morning I'm going to have to send a few things along. I sorted that other issue out. No one cares about this story. Hey, it's a day in the life of ABAREBUGYO, okay? Yeah, I told my boss, I go, oh, I'm at Imajuka Beach right now. He goes, oh really? Yeah, it's great. It was only just said goodbye to him like within an hour, you know, within the hour. And the big boss, he goes, actually the big boss comes from further up north, Kitakushi. He came down to see a bunch of us, and so the big boss, he said to me, when I was leaving, he said, oh, goodbye, blah, blah, and I've got about 100 metres, he goes, oh, hey, Dan-san, I go, yeah, he goes, oh, Johnny, arigato, blah, blah, and and so they're happy with me, they're happy to have a foreigner. I got the chance to chat with other foreigners today, and they could see sort of the way I was relating with people and having a good time, and it's good, man, it's great, you know, because I'm got my personality, yeah. And he said, I said, oh, moshi baka gaijin kimasu, boku wa kore bongyo. I said, I'm saying that, if a stupid foreigner comes, don't worry, I'll hit him with this. Actually, he told me, I just got told to, okay, bring this along on the morrow, okay, and exchange that, bring your helmet along, so that's cool. Okay, so let's talk about this today. There's my pocket bridal coat, rainwear, which I'm expected to utilise today. This particular job today, I was in town, and there was a dozen of us, the dirty dozen, and there was like, it was probably about 50 or 60. There's quite a number of security companies involved, and the police were involved too. And basically coordinating off bridges, and roping off areas, and utilising witches' hats and cones, you know, I don't know what they call them, the lads will call them witches' hats. And yeah, sort of utilising these plastic things, making barriers and stuff like that. So basically just sort of standing there and letting certain people through, the sort of workers and things like that. And I got a chance to chat with some people that were plonked on the boat, one of the boats, and playing traditional music with shimidaiko and shamisen and flutes, and it's just fantastic, man. But yeah, I got a glimpse of some of that sort of stuff, but you know, sort of crowd control thing or whatever. And yeah, it's this event where they bring along all these boats, all the media were there, and and they head towards the Hakata Zoo, which is the Kabuki Theatre. And so they go along the channel and go under the bridges and stuff, and yeah, it's really pleasant, you know. And I enjoyed that, and I had a good laugh with some of the young guys there. There's older guys there, and you know, the old hands. I felt like such a, you know, I'm the new guy, and I said, I'm the new guy, and they understood new guy, you know. There's that Seahawk again. And so yeah, I just sort of watched what they were doing, and they sort of handled more of the other stuff with some of the cars they handled. So we had to sort of move to 3 locations. But yeah, they were really good to me. The boss said to this older bloke, oh, you take him under your wing and you look after him, and he goes, no worries. And he was a top guy, man. When we were moving through the crowd and we had to change locations, he was always looking back to make sure I was there, and yes, you know, really good. And we actually got lost. We lost the other guys for a while there. We've got these walkie-talkie things, so yeah, I don't know what the hell they're saying over this thing, but so we did that. And yeah, a young guy, first thing in the morning, he came over and he said he's just flew in a couple of days ago, and he's got a sponsorship to, one of his mates got him the sponsorship to be a cocktail waiter in this bar in Osaka. And we got to chatting, and I was talking about different types of work that people do, and you know, side work, and then they sort of create their own path, you know. And you can see he's really interested in that, and he said, oh, I'll pop around later, and he did. And then we had to transfer somewhere else. But yeah, I hope he fares well. He'll be off to Osaka for 6 months, and I think he's kind of keen to. You can see it in his demeanour, you know, that it looks like he's keen to sort of not just try this experience, but maybe live it, you know. Some people, I don't know, I sort of sense that with some people. They kind of like, fuck this, I want to change a life, you know. Anyways, it turns out, yeah, I'm just chatting again. A message from a girl I used to run with back in the day. Not back in the day, not that long ago. And she lives in Australia with a new guy and all that stuff. And I've been together for years now, I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, they're all cool. And yeah, I sent her pics of me dressed in the kit and all, and she goes, oh, I thought you were just like dressing up for some kids party event or something. You actually really, that's a real deal. You really did do the course and all that. Oh, yeah. In fact, she was saying that, let's see what she had to say here. Some of it, I hear that companies in Japan, she's Japanese, yeah, and she decided, she wanted to live in Australia, I wanted to stay here because I'm a kid and all, and so we sort of parted, and that's the way it is. But anyways, I hear that companies, she's got a rad job in Australia, by the way. Trucks come along onto a weigh bridge, she weighs them, and off they go. And prior to that, she was working for a Japanese company, and not long after that, she was like, I'm never going to work for a Japanese company ever again. So she's got this rad job doing that, and here's me working for a Japanese company. But they're rad. Anyways, I hear that companies in Japan are desperately wanting English speakers, as there are lots of foreign tourists coming into the country. Good that you got a job, especially an easy one. And that's rad. And so yeah, she's right. Because of all that COVID nonsense, well, a lot of people couldn't make it into the country, and there's, from what I know-ish, which I know nothing about it, I live on the peripheral of reality, of understanding in this land, I swear. But from what I know, companies are required to have a couple of token Gaijin Savages in their ranks, and it's been difficult for them to do so. A lot of people, well, a lot of foreign savages that are coveted are, you know, the bilingual ones, and they can earn a decent crust here. Some company I contacted, they call called me and they said, oh, you know, you don't have to have any, because the stipulation was you don't have to have any skill at all with the, you know, just like, that's it. And then some buffoon on the other end of the phone, speaking all in Japanese, by the way, saying to me, oh, can you read kanji? Because the manual for the manual that you've got to read in order to understand how to operate machinery is it's all in kanji. And I'm like, yeah, you want me to not have a lick of understanding? Yeah, it's okay to not have a lick of understanding in your language, but be fluent in reading it. So basically what that means is that they want like Chinese and maybe Koreans or whatever, because they often have Chinese and Japanese can read each other's script. It's just pronounced differently, and there's a lot more different types of Chinese characters, isn't there? But they can read all that nonsense, and the gagu whatever they call it, chugi chugga choo choo or whatever they call it. I'm gonna get called out for that. The chugi chugga choo choo. But anyways, so yeah, that's one of those sort of factories sort of really need as a requirement, you know, to understand that, blah blah blah. I get it, okay. Now, you know, what Australian? I know a New Zealander bloke that's bloody green shit. Hey, good bloke that one. Anyways, yeah, this company said to me, so I figured what I might do is wait a few months before I sort of see how it goes, see how it is, and see how much work is actually available, you know. Turns out, boom, you know, I'm not even an hour out of the place, I've only just cracked a beer at the beach, and they're like, hey, can you work tomorrow? Yeah. So they said to me, you know, if you introduce someone to this company, they stay for at least 6 months, they give you $500. And I'm like, shit, what if I bring 10 people? And they go, well, that's $5,000, you know. Where's my phone? So, well, this particular place, it's an alibaito, which is part-time job, so they don't offer the visa sponsorship kind of thing. So that's, you know, that's the thing. And I've got all the dealies I need, all the licenses and all the bullshit and all that, you know, the visa and all the blah I need. And I've got a car and a scooter. Well, a scooter that doesn't really like wanting to go. I'm going to have to pull that car apart again. I'd love to have one of those electrolysis machiney things and chuck them in there and they and pull it out, and it's all. No one cares about that particular part of the offshoot story. So, what else was I going to babble on about? I was going to babble on about something. It was leading to something. Yeah, well. Anyways, what attracted me to this is the advertisement saying, comes that chopper, the chopper, get to the chopper. I think he traverses that pretty much every day. The military guys do it in unison and formation sometimes. They go that way, down Sasebo or something. Anyways, what attracted me to this was the fact that you can work 2 or 3 days a week, and one of the major things is a lack of stress. Just a couple of weeks, right, bang on a couple of weeks ago, I was driving along and I looked over and I panned with this thing. I panned over to this bloke that was wearing all this kit. And he's standing there, and I actually said, you know, that bloke's got to work down here to myself or on the camera or whatever. Hello, sky rat. And I think that bloke's got it worked out, hasn't he? Not a care in the world, no stress. All those blokes that were in our crew today, just laughing, joking, you know, making lewd remarks on occasion. Just good blokes. And I was having a laugh with one of the young guys, you know. Like some pretty babes would walk by and we'd be like, yeah, she's an 8. Or I'd say, Hachidu% of them is 80%. You know, you go, oh, and Hachidu or something, you know. And So just a way of some interacting there, and you know, had interaction with a number of people, and so yeah, I know they really want me as a bit of a PR guy there too. Yeah, so that's cool, and that's me, right? That's me now. God, it's a bird, isn't it? Sorry, mate, but that, you know, right, you don't have to. Hey, you don't have to show your ear to me and be all. Anyways. And yeah, the way they were introducing me to people, so that you had all the, like, we did sort of, the main part of the role was sort of be there to make sure people sort of weren't coming into the restricted area as the dignitaries and the musicians and the some of the famous kabuki actors were getting to the boats and stuff, and so that was that, and then they introduced me to sort of some of the big wigs that were the organisers and all this sort of stuff, and I'd say in Japanese, I'd say, I don't understand how to speak Japanese, and someone said to me, para, you're para, meaning fluent. I'm like, no, that's not the case at all. And so, yeah, that's kind of, I think the PR stand-in, white monkey job kind of thing, but I don't feel it as that way at all. I don't feel that it's like a Chinese derived white monkey job at all. They give you good gear, they give you the training, and you can feel that they want to chat with you, and they want to come on, you know, and help you out, and yeah, you can feel that it's camaraderie. Just had to click back on there. You can feel the camaraderie amongst them, and what I knew that was happening because initially I was told, what's sort of the age range, and he said, the youngest is like early 20s, and the oldest, and he showed me a picture of the bloke is 82, the bloke's 82, and I said, how many days a week does he work on a thing? He said, about 3 or 4 days a week the bloke works, you know, and so it's the kind of job you can do at an elderly age, and you know, you're out there in the elements, and you're out there with the people, and you're out there doing your community service kind of thing, and it's bloody rad. I like it, you know. So they're employing people, like, I was wondering how much work there would be, and I was sort of gauging it by I was thinking, you know what, from what I've seen in this, you know, training stuff, is that every day there's new people, and in the afternoon people would come for interviews and stuff like that, and I could hear them downstairs, just really amiable kind of, if that's a word, amiable kind of people, you know, you can get along. It's not like, you know, I don't walk through an interview being all timid and cowardly and shit. I'm like, listen, this is me, right? I don't give a damn who you are. That's the way I walk into an interview. No, that's not true. You know, I mean, I don't go in for like the overbearing boss kind of attitude, and I won't accept it. So I just go in and go, hey, if these people are cool, I'm keen to work for them. That's how I am. And yeah, I like these people, and it just right off the bat they're sort of just really sort of pleasant and inviting, you know. So like walking into a freaking party, mate, you know. And so everyone's sort of really cool. And each day there was someone different, and others that they're employing. So they're currently employing quite a few people. So I gauged that there's work, as when they said to me, you know, if you know someone that's that needs some work, they can do it, blah, blah, blah. That's what I was going to talk about. Another thing that really attracted me to this is that when they said, they weren't kidding when they said you can work 2 or 3 days a week, and I said, so when I initially contacted them, when they showed interest in me, I contacted them, you know, I want my, can you work around the days I want? I want my Tuesdays off so I can go to an auction house and have fun with the people there, and it's sometimes a good opportunity for me to get things that I can trade. And they're like, done. And I said, I teach kids on a Friday afternoon. I could drop the job if I had to, you know, if you needed me to. That in the interview, this was in this particular portion of it. But I'm like, you know, I feel like quite so feel sorry for these kids if I just left, because they said to me, you know, they really enjoy English class and they're having a good time, and then, you know, I feel like a bit of a sea walking out on them, but I don't want to, you know what I mean? That's the thing. I could if I had to, blah, but I don't want to. The thing is, pretty much your day is pretty much fucked anyways, because, you know, you've got to be there at that time, so the rest of your day you don't really sort of go, it's not like you can just disappear off to Saudi Arabia or something, you know. You know, you can't just do that. So, but, you know, I said, oh, you know, so Friday's off too, is that okay? And he's like, okay, well, we can work around that. Is that all? The other days? I'm like, yeah. And he said, oh, you can work any other days? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. You know, because I'm thinking, I don't have to do the markets every week, kind of thing, you know. And this month is monsoon season anyway. Yes, last night, God, it came down and had the door ajar and boom, it woke me up. So yeah, I'm going to be out there, you know, here's me all like, yay, all genki and happy and shit right now. I'll probably, give me a week, I'm out there in monsoon or rain going, okay, so I am doing the job, I want to do the job, I want this job, but this fucking rain. But what an experience that was, you know. They told me that they do things like for some events, you know, that you might be in a car park or something like that, where people are coming along to go into a hall or something like that, you know, exhibition building, something like that. And they also do things like the Fukuoka Marathon, for instance. How rad is that, you know? So you see the people running on by, and basically your job is just to make sure that people don't sort of, cars don't come into the designated running region. And he's probably training for it now. And people don't step into the way of the runners and just stuff like that, and cordon off the area, and they have it all blocked off anyways, you know. And so that's what you do, and I know they like it, me being because they encourage me. They told me when we were doing the training, forgot that bit. Forgot to say during that time. Said to me, you know, please communicate with people, and especially foreigners, and blah blah. So yeah, you know, I'm well keen undertaking that PR type of role too, you know. I've got my kit, you know, got all my badges and all my cool stuff, and sent some pictures and all this kit. Mate, I'm rapt about it. I'm really rapt about this. And on the spur of the moment, I was like, he said, because I know I've got something I've got to do on the morrow, like I've got to pack a couple of things, but I can do that Friday morning. Go and buy a sea freight anyway, so that takes $3, so you know, that's the way it is. You know, I've got to work around that, and so I'm well keen to just snap call on that one. Yeah, bam, I'm there. You know, when do you need me? Bam. Where do you need me? Bam. Okay. Loving it. Just wrapped. You know, I've been trying over the last few years. You know, I've been struggling with general. I've been trying to create a way of sustaining this lifestyle, because of all the nonsense that happened when the world went clown world and nonsense, that really seriously affected me a lot. It threatened my life. And yeah, anyone who watches this stuff know. And so I was like, I wouldn't mind having something whereby I could sustain what I do, earn enough, I mean, a part-time job, to pay, just cover all my bills, and then I can continue to do what I do. And that way I believe my persona and disposition, my sort of demeanour would improve. improve from a pit of bitterness. It's still going to be bitter over the creatures that created it, but yeah, you know, just to sort of be in a situation where I sustain this existence. Yes, so cheers to that one. Some people out there over the years, you know, been email me, and you know, a few people said, yeah, you have been run through the ringer, haven't you? I'm like, yeah, damn straight up. There's that. Oh, one awesomeness of awesome thing that just reminded me of that lady walking by with a face mask on, a face diaper. I rock up without a face diaper, and I'm just kind of, I forgot to bring one in the kit bag, because most of my gear's in another kit bag anyways. So I'm thinking, shit, you know, the only thing I don't like, hello, taksan sakana tota, zenzen akuyashi ne, taksan many sakana, he's got a fish, sakana tota, sakana fish tota, take, is it zenzen, none. So yeah, I was kind of figuring, alright, because you're representing a company, you know, you gotta wear the masking thing and that bullshit, but because they lifted those restrictions, some people I see, even on the train, you know, they don't wear their bloody things. They sort of feel social expectation that they're wear. Some companies stipulate, but they said nothing to me. No one said nothing. No one said nothing. You know, like, that's icing on the freaking cake, mate, because I did cut some holes in one of them. Like, one of the mastings I use for grinding and stuff sitting in my warehouse. I cut a whole bunch of holes in the bloody thing, and sort of from a distance you can't really tell. It just looks like the design. But that's cool. So it's freaking, I'm rats, mate, as you can probably tell. I'm very, very pleased about that. But to have something that will sustain my lifestyle, pay the bills, and then I can continue doing the things that I have been doing and like doing, you know, that as I say many times, not just a business, it's a lifestyle. So often I will take something to a temple or a shrine, or just out of the blue, just my gut there, turn and go, right, I can just go over there and have an investigation. Radalicious. I wish I had known though, I wouldn't have had to bring along all these bloody bulldogs. The medium big boss, he goes, hey, and gives me this this bottle of, it gives everyone a bottle of nice cool green tea, and I'm thinking, shit, I'm gonna have to carry that thing already. Oh, thanks, I stuffed that in. A rad thing they gave me, I've always wanted one, from the hardware store down that way. Last year, when in the heat of the summer was coming on, real humid, you know, and it can get really dreary, especially over concrete and stuff. And I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, bloody hell, I want one of those. It's a jacket that has 2 fans inside, and you utilise, you charge up this, it's like a rechargeable bloody thing, and you charge that thing, and then you stick it in a pocket. So it's sitting in here, and then I can feel one of the fans right now, actually. And so this piece of kit, I've tested out. They tested out to see how I feel about it or whatever. They took a couple of photos. They took photos of me and the other chaps at the event too today. You know, so that was cool. And I'm on the bridge, and then there's the boats behind me as they come in. It was fantastic. And so I plonked that on. You zip it up and you turn it on. I'm like, whoa! And you blow up like the Michelin Man, and it's you know. And so I'm like, how long do the batteries last? And he says, oh, if you put it on full power, you're going to run out in like 3 hours, but you'll leave it on just one, it'll last as long as 8 hours. So I'm going to be charging this bloody thing. And you've got a USB connection thing with it too, so you can and you've got a, what do you call it, a DC 9-volt bloody thingy, and then that goes to those thingies, and the knee bone connects to that electricity bone, that lightning bone. And you can plug in like your mobile phone or something and recharge that, you know. So it's a real good unit. And that's better. Yeah, it's a real good unit. This fan forced jacket thing. It's just rad. I bloody always wanted it. So I'm well kitted out with a whole bunch of gear. Not to mention, I didn't get the helmet they gave me doesn't have a strap. They said, oh, you gotta make sure you keep your strap tight. I go, you know what, I don't recall seeing a strap with that helmet, so we'll sort it out. Oh, that's better. Haven't had a beer in, shit, what was it, a couple of weeks now? Yeah. No, I'm very, very pleased about this. So yeah, for some savages out there that might be listening, there's a lot of companies that are well keen to, especially factories, you know, but there's a lot of factories, I presume, that you don't have to read a manual in kanji, you know. You could get work and they'll show you how to operate a machine, and a lot of that stuff is in Nagoya, I think there's a lot of factories there, so, and they do sponsor visa type stuff, you know, that you get you know, it's possible to do so. So for those that are interested in living the life in Japan, you know, initially maybe work 3, 4, 5 years in a big company, save your dough, and then sort of maybe get a part-time job, and then sort of go your own way kind of thing, you know, and create your own thing. So those dreams and possibilities are there, and those dreams are for many, many people want that. So yeah, it is true that a lot of companies are looking for foreign savages, especially foreign savages. Yeah, they want foreign savages to show, hey, we've got a foreign savage working to comply with the regulations and policies by law, you know. So, and then the money's pretty decent. I did see a whole bunch of Vietnamese girls just recently, and I know there's a dormitory over there somewhere where they're staying. I know there's a dormitory. Moon's out already, seriously. How's that? Moon and Sea Hawk. Sorry, Sea Hawk, Mountain Hawk. I'm saying that. It's in this stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of companies that are looking for people, and by law, apparently, obviously they must have relaxed the laws, you know. But and a lot of those jobs do without having any skill in the language is possible. It's just getting here or obtaining that kind of work from overseas. That's I don't know how that works and works around that. A bloke today told me he was sponsored by a mate of his that they were working together in England. He says he's a cocktail barman, and he said he's going to be here for 6 days. He's been here a couple of days, and he said, shit, I was up to like 5 in the morning last night in a bar. It was cool. And yeah, had a right good chatty through right in the morning with him, you know, and mid morning, and the chaps, you know, right off the bat here I am. See that bloke, I said, oh, good morning, and blah blah, and off he was walking by, and he sort of wheeled around and walked back. He said, oh, you know, he had some questions for me, and like, sweet. And the blokes immediately like noticed the PR going on just right off the bat, just like that, you know. And so they could see that clearly I'm capable of communicating with all and sundry, really. And yeah, like that. Oh, where was I going with that? Anyways, that bloke, he actually got sponsorship he's got 6 months sponsorship to work in Osaka, and so, and he's going to check out some other place prior to going there, so a little bit of travel first, and then get into his work, and I was talking to him about what different dudes that I know of that do certain things and do their own thing, and you can see that he's well keen on gleaning some of that sort of information. And yeah, I can tell that bloke is keen. He's got dreams in his eyes, man, you know. He's only just beginning his new piece of the path. In fact, I had deja vu yesterday. I really did. This is supposed to be a part of it. This is a part of the puzzle. In fact, last night I had a dream, right? And here I am, because they stuck a freaking needle in me. Badges and all. They stuck a needle in me to, you know, draw the golden liquid out of me, a bit of that, and do a drug test and do all these other lungy tests and all kinds of bullshit. And last night I had this dream. It wasn't exactly a nightmare. Hello. And it wasn't exactly a nightmare, but these kids are like, oh, who's that dude? He's a Gaijin wearing all the kitted out and all this gear. It wasn't a nightmare, it wasn't a dream, but here I am in the back seat of this car, and there's this crazed foreign dude, and he's got a needle, and he's waving around, he's trying to stab me, and he's driving this car, and he's recklessly driving like the freaking Kurgan, and here's me, I'm trying to, yeah, that's right, I had this hand, I'm gripping on the handbrake, right, on the handbrake, and I've got his wrist, and we're fighting for this stuff, and this needle. I'm serious, that's a dream I had yesterday. When I think about that dream right now, I can feel where they plugged me. They meant to plug me in there, and I go, no, you'll grab it. It's easier to see the vein there, and about that one, right, I'll charge you. She goes, oh yeah, alright. And I'm like, have you stuck it in yet? And she goes, yeah, it's over. Anyways, back to it. Yeah, there's a lot of foreign savages out there that want to have a lifestyle here, obviously, and there are, it is true that a lot of companies want foreign savages that don't, you know, stipulate. It's sort of more, you just, I wouldn't say just a white monkey, you know, they sort of often need people for the PR thing, you know, and like they did the photo, they weren't just taking photos of me, but the other workers and stuff like that at the company thing, and represent the company and blah blah. Yeah, represent the company, mate. I get all fucking pissed. So you know, there are opportunities. It's just finding a way to get that visa, or you know, that work visa, or that possibility, that chance. But a lot of people are coming over from. You see, they have. Schools set up in Nepal, and they come over, and they're Japanese are freaking fantastic, and they work in a lot of the convenience stores initially, or for the most part. You see a lot of, I guess they get into, some of them told me that they're like, oh, come have a drink with us, you know, like, oh shit, and I met a few of these blokes, and they said, oh, we're studying too, so we're going to do and study Japanese and their whatever they plan to do in the future, see? So it's a stepping stone for them. And so, you know, there are certain ways of coming in and then creating a future. So it's not just a shit job sort of thing. Me, I don't get paid $1 zillion for doing this, but you know, I've got a spot on there. I had to pick up a bunch of witches' hats. We cleared a whole line of all these stuff for these blokes. They said they'll kit me out with some more stuff, you know, more of these and all that sort of stuff. That's cool. So yeah, there's plenty of work for foreign savages in this land, and companies really want people. It's true what that bird was saying. That bird is a kick with. Yeah, it's just maybe it's a matter of trying to contact people. Like if someone, a foreign savage, had a valid visa to work, I could get him a job in a heartbeat, I believe. Yeah, I could. And now that I was thinking of just waiting a couple of months before I even mentioned something like that, but these blokes, within like 45 minutes of me saying goodbye to them, I'm sitting at the beach with a beer, and they call me up and say, hey, what about tomorrow? And they didn't like, oh, you must. It was like, oh, can you? Like, that's the way they spoke, you know. Can you? He spoke. Can you work tomorrow? Because wasn't expecting it in the slightest, and I'm like, yeah, why not? So that bolsters my belief, as when I saw they were employing and training Japanese and a girl, a flat out gorgeous hottie. She was 21 years old. She was a hottie, man, in the training. The training was an absolute breeze, to be honest, but I've done a lot of safety courses and all that sort of shit. I've got a white card, it's called an Australian construction induction card. I've got one of those, and a forklift license that ran out, and I used to have a B-class license I obtained in Perth. It's now called a heavy rigid license. So no, I've done all that shit. I did a 4-year an indentured slave, an indentured apprentice, and from the age of 16 to well, I stayed there. It was a 4-year apprenticeship. I stayed in that particular company for 5 years, tool making, but it's in the art of fitting and machining. So they cover a bunch. They call it fitting and turning, fitting and machining. They change it from fitting and turning because also when I was in the tool workshop, so they incorporated fitting and turning and tool making. They incorporated what they call fitting and machining. So I did that. I worked in big companies and big projects, and I haven't done a lot of that shit. I don't know, fuck all really. But that environment. I ran a 20-ton crane. We would have to use the crane just about at least once a freaking day for 5 years, and turn 10-ton steel tools and open them up and turn them and put them on sleepers, like wood trains, track sleepers, and then 10 tons get into a certain a lot of that shit. Fucking a lot of shit. Working milling machines and wash grinders and surface grinders and bandsaws. I've done a lot of lathe work, but loads of bench tool operations, cylindrical grinder. I don't like going near those bastards. I saw a guy in trade school. He put the post a bit too tight, and it went ping and around the floor. And a bloke goes, one of the young guys, he goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'll stop him." Boom! He puts his foot in the way. Oh God! Why don't you just leave it? Just spinning. Shit, that could knock your freaking head off. So I've worked some machines, machinery that can hurt you. I've seen some blokes get hurt too. And it's time. One time a helicopter showed up because a bloke fell off a roof of the place. And I've been around a bit, alright? Seen a few things in my existence. I should just fucking write a book, eh? What I do, like Ernest Hemingway, he's a deep sea fisherman, he's a hunter, and he was in the freaking, I don't know, Spanish Civil War or some shit, and did a whole, amazing writer, could write beautiful literature like A Farewell to Arms, and write a short story with a bloke, there's a boat, a guy, a fish, water, and a shack, which is barely mentioned, a beach. And he wrote a whole freaking short story, granted, the whole freaking story about it. And then he writes his book of Farewell to Arms, for whom the bell tolls. I wasn't really keen on that one, but that was about the same or whatever. But he wrote a book that sort of compares to the styling of D.H. Lawrence, Lady Chatterley's Lover, and that sort of style, the similarities between the style of writing and Farewell to Arms. Who gives a fuck? Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, had a pretty various lifestyle. It is true. Quite varied. It has been quite varied indeed. I'm going to run out of battery power, so I didn't bring the other one. No one gives a shit about this story.
Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch. From it then came a stone monkey. The nature of monkey was irrepressible.